What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Big Dave, and y'all know what it is. What up, though? I'm back at you again. You dig? Well, the topic today is, can we discipline our children without people accusing us of child abuse? Let's get into it right now. I'm going to get into it by starting this off with a story. You dig? Well, today I was out going to the bank and making a few runs, you dig? And I stopped at Boost Mobile to pay my bill, and it was a lady hollering and going hard on her child. And from where I was at, we couldn't see nothing. And it was sounding real scandalous. It sounded like she was being abusive to this child, you see? It sounded like she was trying to harm this child. And usually when you see somebody trying to harm a child, you have to pay attention to it. You want to get involved if that's what's going on, because we have to protect the little ones, you did. But it wasn't that. And there had to been somebody nosy getting all in that shit and looking. And it's okay to look out for the children. But it had to been somebody nosy, they still would have made the call and been recording her and all kinds of shit. There was no need to record her. Because once I finally paid attention to the whole play and the whole thing, she had picked this little boy up from school, from summer school, and he got kicked out of summer school. So if you're getting kicked out of summer school, that means you're doing something wrong. That means you acting a damn fool. So she was letting him know who was in charge. So she must have been a single parent. The father must have not been present. Because usually when the father's not present, these kids challenge the mothers a little bit faster. And the minute she took control and started getting after his ass, because he needed his ass whooped. And he started screaming, "Let me go, let me go, let me go," and kicking and fighting. All that because he got kicked out of school and she had to come get him and stop doing what she had to do on her day to go get him from school because he was acting out. Now, I'm not saying that you should be beating kids. And I'm not saying it ain't people out here that abuse their children, because there's plenty of them. That's why a lot of these kids are in the system, because these parents don't do their job, you dig? But there's a lot of parents out here that do not abuse their children. They are good parents and they discipline their children. Whatever happened to us disciplining our children? Remember Adrian Peterson, the football player, the Hall of Famer that ran for 2,000 yards for the Minnesota Vikings? He used to torch us. And I'm a Lions fan. Detroit, what up, though? He used to torch us, though. But he disciplined his son and had him get a switch. And he left a couple whips. Man, they tried to put him in jail. They made him pay millions. They put him through hell. They tried to end his career. What kind of shit is that? Man, I remember we used to go to the market and get threatened before we get there with our mama. With my mama. She used to tell us, look back through that rearview mirror and said, when we get in this store, you better not start running. You better not start playing. And you better not start begging for shit, or I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. And guess what we did? We followed suit and we listened because we knew she meant it. See, back in the day, you could slap the shit out your child in the market. And no one would say anything. No one would get involved. They'd say, that's right. That's right. Because they knew they wasn't trying to harm her. They was just trying to get things in order before it got out of order. See, little Bobby and Eric, "Mommy, no! Get out my face, Mommy. You're going to take a time out, Eric." See, we don't do that shit. See, the court has stepped in and allowed us not to discipline our children. Whenever the court can tell our children that they can call the authorities on us for disciplining them, that's a problem. Tommy Hearns went to jail. Come on, the knockout artist. The Hearns, Tommy, baby. He went to jail for disciplining his 13 or 14-year-old because he wanted to size up. He wanted to show he was a man. Tommy had to get after him. He called the police. They locked Tommy up. He had to pay $10,000 to get out of jail. What the fuck kind of shit is that? What the fuck is going on? That's why these kids soft as hell today. All they want to do is sit around like couch potatoes. They don't want to do shit. They calling their mamas man. Once again, it ain't a father in the house. What kid calls their mother man? Call their parents man. You get the shit slapped out of you. Back in the day, we had big mamas. That mean our grandmothers. Man, they'd bust your head to the white meat and no one would call the police. My mother came up to Fitzgerald. I come from Pearson. Reside on Joy Road. What up, Exit 9? What up, PA? Dig. Fitzgerald. My mother walked in there. She got called before she went to work. Damn near missed a day of work. And I was acting out and acting a damn fool. Man, my mama came in there and beat my ass in that classroom in front of everybody. And back then it was 35 students to a class with one teacher. She beat my ass so bad in front of everybody. I was the laughing stock for a week. The laughing stock for a week, but no one called Child Protective Service. No one called anyone, the police. No one intervened because they knew she wasn't trying to harm me. They knew she was just trying to get me in order. Because if you don't get your kids in order, what happens? They lead to the streets. And they get the attention from an older person. And that older person might have them doing things they shouldn't do. Now they coming home fighting mama, fighting daddy, trying to take over the fucking house. What I seen today was no need to record, was no need to intervene. Because that kid needed a foot up his ass. That kid needed his ass whooped. He put up all that commotion and all that fighting, all because he tried to tell her what he ain't gonna do. We didn't do that when we was growing up. You know why? Because we had a community raising us. Your neighbor can whoop your ass and take you to your parents, and she'll thank the neighbor and finish you off. Today, you say something to somebody's kid, it's a war. My man Dane D on the What Up Dollar Sign show did a show about the same stuff I'm talking about. Same stuff I'm talking about. A man said something to a kid, was trying to get him correct, and the father went back over there and got into it with the parent and fucked around and got his ass beat in front of his child. The dumbest shit in the world. See, we had a community raising us. We don't have that today. Kids ride their bikes on your yard. You tell them to stay off your yard. Fuck you. Oh, you old. It's no respect. It's no respect. Before you get involved in somebody's business, make sure it's for real abuse before you start recording, before you start reporting, because you'll get somebody in some serious trouble that really takes care of that kid. Just like right now, a man lost his child, or the parents lost their child, and the system came and picked the child up from them with the unsupervised visits and was taking them back to the foster care and left the child in the car for 3 hours in Alabama, scorching sun. And the child died in the hands of the system. So the child wasn't protected from the system. It wasn't protected from the parents. The parents failed the child first. The reason the system had them. And then the system failed them next. Now, as a 3-year-old dead, they didn't ask to be here. So what's the sense of keep having kids if you're not going to take the responsibility and do what you're supposed to do as a damn parent? And all you people out there don't even take care of your own damn kids. Mind your own damn business instead of trying to get somebody in trouble and stop the process. Now, if I see somebody harming and hurting their child, you know when somebody is really abusing and hurting a child. Then you do what you got to do to step in. But other than that, quit accusing people for abuse for just disciplining their child. Because when your child can call the police on you for hitting them and you go to fucking jail, that's a problem. The system is failing us each and every day. And we better get right. Because ain't no system gonna stop me from getting none of my kids' ass grown or and growing up at a young age. I'm not buying it. And the system ain't gonna tell me what I gotta do. If they gotta call the police, and you gonna call them, but it's gonna be worth it. I'm not finished putting my foot up your ass. And I mean that. Parents, raise your children, discipline them when you have to, not just because you want to. Because it starts at home. You understand me? Well, I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to share that story with y'all. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share the channel. It only helps the channel grow. And make sure y'all get these likes up. Make sure you like the video and don't just watch it. Let's support each other. Let's get this money. You understand? The quote for today is, mind your own business unless it's necessary to get involved because you see danger alerting. Real talk.